video, I'm going to show you how to do the moss stitch. Now, I absolutely love this stitch. I think it's so beautiful. It gives such a great, nice texture, and it's actually pretty easy to do as well. So depending on what you're wanting to make, I am making just a hand towel here, and but it makes for lots of great different projects. But depending on what you want to make and how many stitches you need casted on, the key thing to remember with the moss stitch is that you need an even number of stitches at the top. So, big, large, doesn't matter, but just make sure that you cast on an even number of stitches. Now, the moss stitch is comprised of two different stitches. It's just simply the knit stitch and the purl stitch alternated, but you double it up by doing 2 rows of the same at a time, and then you alternate doing 2 at a time. So it's a quite easy, simple pattern. It's very similar to the seed stitch. If you know how to do the seed stitch, this is going to be easy peasy. If you don't know how to knit or do a purl stitch or a seed stitch, I will link those videos here so that you can learn those and practice them as well. I will go a little slow in the beginning, but I will pick up the pace. And so if you need me to slow down, check out those videos. Okay, so let's jump in and get started. I've already casted on, obviously, as you can see, an even number of stitches. I've already begun, and I wanted to have a little bit of the project already done so I could show you a few different things along the way. So you need an even number. Obviously, you need your yarn and your needles. This happens to be just 100% cotton yarn on a medium 4. I'm using my 3.5 millimeter needles, but obviously you can use, whatever yarn and needles that you choose to still create this beautiful pattern. So once you have an even number casted on, you can either start with knits or purls, doesn't matter, but you're just going to alternate all the way down. So if you start with a purl, you're just gonna go purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, all the way down. And you're gonna do that for 2 rows before you switch and alternate. So let me show you how it looks and how you know when you need to switch your stitches. So if you can look real closely here, I'm going to try and spread these out a little bit. If you look closely, you can see that I've got 2 V's here stacked on top of each other. You see those 2 V's? And then I have 1 bar at the top, and there's a bar at the bottom. So it's bar, V, V, bar. That tells me that and actually you can see there's 2 bars. So it's bar, bar, V, V, bar. That means that I need 2 of everything. I want 2 of each. So I've got bar, bar, V, V, bar. That means I need my next row, that this should be another purl. And just likewise, here I've got V, V, bar, bar, V. That means I need another V because I've only got 1 and I want 2. I want 2 of everything. Bar, bar, V, V, bar. I need another bar. All right, so that's how you kind of know where you are in the project. You want 2 of everything. You're gonna have 2 repeating rows all the way through. So let's get started. Now I've been playing with just doing different edges. So this first stitch I'm going to slip. You do not need to slip it if you just want to start right off with a knit or a purl. You can do that, but I'm slipping my first stitch. Okay, so as we said, so here's a bar, here's a V, and I'm wanting to do another exact same row that I just did. So that means I'm going to purl this first one, which means I'm bringing my yarn to the front. I'm going in over the top. From back to front, I'm wrapping that yarn around, and then I'm gonna scoop it to the back and pop it off. But now I have a V. That means that I need to bring my yarn to the back because I want to create another V, which is the knit stitch. And then I'm coming in the back. I'm going to bring my yarn from back to front, bring my needle to the front, and pop it off. Here's a bar. That means I'm bringing my yarn to the front to do my purl and popping it off. I'm bringing my yarn to the back to do my knit and popping it off. Bringing my yarn to the front, purl, and pop it off. So I'm just simply alternating. So just like the seed stitch, how you alternate, but in the seed stitch, you're alternating each row. This, we are doing 2 of the same before we alternate. So 2 of the exact same rows. And so if you set your project down and you're not sure where you're at, if I were to set this down and come back to it, I can just look at what's up ahead. And so I can see what's up ahead is here's one V, one sad, lonely V. He wants a friend. So we need to give it a friend. We need to make another V. And here's one bar that tells me he needs another one. So if I set this down and come back to it, I know that I'm going to start with the knit stitch and then the purl and take that all the way down. Okay, so now I'm going to flip my work over, and now we can see that we have 2 of each. So we've got 2 V's. Right here we've got 2 bars. We've got 2 V's. So since we have 2, that means we're ready to switch. We're ready to alternate. So again, I'm just slipping my first stitch. You don't need to do that. If you are still not slipping your first stitch, you're just gonna start with whatever. So here I've got my 2 V's. So that tells me my first stitch is going to be a purl. So that means I'm bringing my yarn to the front. And now I alternate all the way down. All right, so I finished that row, flip my work over, get untangled here. And so now we do it again. We've got now one V, 1 bar. And so now anytime you set your project down, you know if you need to start your row with a knit or a purl based on how many there are and where you left off. Pretty simple, huh? And it turns out so beautiful. I love this pattern. So happy knitting the moss stitch. Have fun with it. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.